today's edition of Owl Talk. We're with head softball coach Tat Matthews, Cara Harper, and Bailee Watts today, senior, junior. Okay, so just talk about your journey. We're going to start with Coach. How did you get here at the W?
You know, most coaching jobs start with an application, and I came from a all-women's institution, and so I figured that coming to a place that has a foundation of an all-women's institution, I could bring some insight to that. And I've been a coach, I believe this is year 9 in collegiate athletics. I'm getting old. But I've revamped a program, I've started a travel ball team, I've worked in Division I, NAIA, JUCO. I played D2 and D1, so the one area I hadn't worked in was Division III, but also the other thing that I hadn't done was start a program from the ground up. And my generation, we don't have that ability to do that very often because a lot of programs are already established. You get to revamp programs, you get to turn not so winning programs into winning programs, but very rarely do we get to start from the ground up and build a program of everything that we really want to see in our sport. And I saw that and I jumped on it, and you know, almost exactly a year to the date, here I am sitting in the offices. So.
Okay, so how did you get these two young ladies to come on over to the house?
I guess we'll start with Bailee. I was recruiting Bailee at my last institution. She's just a great young lady, a phenomenal student. I can put her anywhere on the field except for pitching. We learned that. Respect your teammate. She cannot pitch. But if I had to put her on the mound, she would do the best that she could to help her team out. But I can put Bailee in the middle, I could put Bailee in the outfield, and I wasn't really sure where she was going to be this year, and I told her that. But, you know, she's rocked it at short. She's done some great things. She's made some ESPN done and up plays at practice. She did really well in our fall game against Meridian. But when I took this job, she was actually one of the first phone calls I made, because I took the job and knew that this would be a great place for her. I just couldn't see me starting this program without her. And I think Cara can attest to it. She's part of the heart of our program. She's in the center of the field. She's in shortstop, and it's we play with Bailee's attitude, which is always positive. So we've done great. And then I actually spoke with her father before I spoke with her. Her dad called, and I think it was he couldn't believe that it had finally started. And Cara, I talked to him and I was like, you know what, if this is where your daughter really wants to be, I need her to call me. And lo and behold, I got a phone call from this really sweet young lady, and she came on her visit, and I couldn't see this year 1 program without her. She's going to do amazing things on the mound. She can play outfield, but right now I really, really need her to be in the circle. And she's going to persevere through anything that you throw her way and anything life throws her way, and we learned that in our fall game. She wasn't the healthiest, but she was going out there, and she wasn't going to come out until I forced her to do it. But she did great. She's going to do great, and I couldn't think of 2 better players to be the face of Owls Talk for our first edition. It's pretty much 2 of the players that are the heart and soul of our program.
Okay. So Bailee, what sold you outside of Coach's smooth tongue? What sold you on coming to Little Mississippi to be a part of the Owls softball team?
Well, when I went on a few visits. I visited the school she first recruited me to, and I visited some other schools in the upstate of South Carolina. But when I came here, I just had this kind of like peace. Like I really felt like whenever I do things in life, I really try to do what I feel like God calls me to do. And so when I came here, I just had this peace of like, okay, I think this is where He's calling me to be. So that was kind of like my setting factor. I was like, all right, I'm at peace here. I think this is my place. So that was for me.
Yeah. So what about you? What brought you here?
Well, I'm from here originally, so I've been pretty tight with the W since day one, and when I finally found out that they had a program, I knew this is kind of like where I wanted to end. You know, I've been through, well, technically 3 years of softball, but 4 years of school, and I was like, this is kind of where I want the journey to end, at home, local, around people that know me, who've watched me play my whole life.
Okay, so when did you start playing softball?
9, you know, knee high to grass.
That doesn't prove she's from Mississippi.
Right. So what just kind of like drew you into the sport and made you continue and want to like grow with it?
My dad has been a big sports fan, and he played baseball throughout high school, college. I mean, he even got drafted a couple times. He just didn't end up going, but you know, he was big in the sport. My brother was big in the sport, and it just kind of felt like that was my niche, kind of.
Okay. And you, when did you start playing softball? And
I actually started off playing baseball.
Okay.
My dad played baseball. Where I was from, we had a really small town, and we didn't really have like recreational softball until I got to be about 12 or so. So I played baseball for the first part of my life, and then I transitioned into softball and stuff like that when I was around 12. And I just kind of grew up playing in high school, and I actually started my collegiate career as a basketball player,
okay.
and then transitioned back into softball one more time. So that's how I started.
So you have a similar story to Coach Todd over there. Didn't you start baseball and transition to softball?
I actually did not play softball until I got to high school. And I almost gave it up to play basketball, but I just couldn't quit.
Yeah. So that's your first love. Softball, baseball will always be your first love.
Yeah, baseball is probably my first love, but once you transition out of baseball and you get to softball and you see how much faster it is, it's really, really, really hard to go back. You know, I joke all the time that I can watch game after game after game on TV of softball, and I can watch baseball live, but if you put baseball on TV, you know, I'm going to flip between baseball and Law and Order or Bones or whatever else is going on. I can't watch an entire baseball game on TV. It's just too slow. And a lot of people that don't play the game don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know, it's fast when you're in it. But yeah, my first love was probably basketball.
Okay.
And then baseball. You know, now my one true love is softball. So,
so what happened to your basketball career?
Everybody in my family played basketball, and I wanted to be different. If you haven't learned that about me, I don't follow the crowd. I like to do my own thing, and so I kind of rebelled a little bit against the family tradition and played. But I love watching basketball. I'm excited that basketball season has started. I can't figure out which college game I'm watching.
Right.
So thankfully we have the ESPN app and I can watch all of them
at
different times. But yeah, I miss it. I just didn't have the heart, and I couldn't take a spot from a kid just because I had talent if they had the heart. So I was okay with giving that up.
That's understandable. So you have how many on your roster now?
We have 24.
24. So you have these 24 young ladies. You bring them to Columbus, Mississippi to play the game of softball. Just talk about how the fall has gone so far.
For such a large group, they actually get along really, really well. We have a lot of personalities. I think they're all competitive. And that's a blessing and a curse. At practice you kind of fight against each other to get that spot. And then in the games you have one goal and one dream, and that's to beat the other team. And they bring that competitiveness together to play as a cohesive unit and push it towards the other team. So it's not, I wouldn't say we had internal conflict, but you're always trying to push to get, the starting spot or get the batting order lineup that you want, somewhere like that. But we had a great fall. I think the hardest thing that we had to adjust to was we have so many junior college transfers. And once they realized that we had to utilize the hours that we actually were able to play and the days we were able to play, they didn't take that time as for granted, because in JUCO you can practice whenever, however long, and and go to school, and then you can practice the rest of the day.
Right.
Here we have certain hours and certain number of days we can play in our non-traditional season. But as soon as we got into the swing of things, they did great. I could not be more pleased with the way we played. They're used to playing multiple games in the fall, sometimes upwards of 15, 20 games in the fall. And we got 1 day, 2 games is what we played. So we packed a lot of punch in one little day. And they, for lack of a better term, they killed it. Pitching was great. Hitting was great. I don't think we made an error our first game. Pitcher, I think the first pitch of the game was a strike. We threw, when we got on defense, we did that, and those young ladies look like they'd played together their entire life. And it's funny because some of them have.
Yeah.
A lot of them are from the same high school, won a state championship together, but we have a lot of Mississippi JUCOs that played against each other, and now they're playing with each other, and they've made a great transition of, this isn't the enemy anymore, this is the family. And then even picking up our true freshmen on the team and our transfers from other areas, they work together well. They have learned that one may have a weakness in one area, but I have a strength here, so we're going to work together. I'll help you learn how to do this if you help me get better at this. And the fall was great. I'm sad it's over. I can't wait for January 10th and our first practice. I think they might be a little bit more excited than I am, but they're not 24 individuals anymore. They're 24 people who have become a new family, and I couldn't ask for a better group of kids.
Coming from out of state and having your first, fall practice and fall games, what was your thoughts, on that?
Well, the JUCO I came from, our first year we had a lot of success, and then our second year we didn't have, it was a bad season. We didn't win very many games. We weren't a team. We had arguments all the time. And then whenever we went out there and we won by we played 7 innings, but by the 5th inning when it was 5-0, I was like, Heidi, because she came from South Carolina with me, and I looked at her and I was like, Heidi, we're winning. It was fun where I was just so happy and so just grateful to be in a place where we were all playing together and we were winning and we were really just thriving in the environment. So it was a big change, but it was a good one. So.
And what are your thoughts from being from the area?
Thoughts on what exactly?
Just the fall and joining the team and how it went.
I was really impressed with the fall. I've come from schools where we have, like she said, all that allotted time to bond and mesh together as a team. We didn't really have all the restrictions that D3 does, and with that little time that we had in the fall to kind of come together when we actually got out there and played against another team, I was so impressed. We just came together as one, and everything just started clicking, and I thought we did really well. I mean, I couldn't have asked for it to go any better. So.
Okay, so after a successful fall, what are your individual goals and your goals for the team for the spring season?
Well, individually, I would like to stay healthy so I can go out with a bang, because this is it for me. But as for our team, if we just keep doing what we're doing and keep pushing, I think we're going to have a really successful season, and it's going to be a great first year for this program.
Okay, and Bailee?
As an individual, I kind of want to be a versatile player. I want to be able to be whatever the team needs, not necessarily a specific thing, but just kind of be able to do whatever they need me to do. And then as a team, I really think that we're going to win a lot. If I'm being honest, I really feel like if we can just continue to play like we've been playing and work together and work hard, I really think that we're going to make the first year one of the best years of the program. So.
Okay, and Coach, you're steering the ship. So what are your goals?
My goal is to get better every single day. If we just get a little bit better every day, that's a major progress, and makes me a happy coach. I want to do well in the classroom. We're doing pretty well. I don't have too much to complain about there. The girls have good work ethic. You know, ultimately, if you're looking at wins and loss goals, I'd like to go 500. And I think with this group, if they play the way they can play, we have that chance. You know, it's a big bite to chew off for a first-year program, but you know, nobody really respects a first-year program, and I plan on capitalizing on that. Like, they're going to play flat-footed, and you know, when we went to our game in the fall and they played flat-footed against us because they're a first-year program, we scored 3 runs in the first inning. You know, the looks on their face were like, all right, we can't play on them. But you know, get better. We had a hiccup in the fall, and you know, I think that might have been the best thing that could have happened to us because we realized how close of a family we actually are. You know, it brought us together closer, and you know, I didn't see as many smiles before. You know, everybody smiles. They are excited to see each other. They can't wait to start playing, and it's, you know, just like, listen, we gotta count the days down. I can't do anything right now. You know, there are restrictions. As much as I would love to be out there with you, you know, but you know, I expect us to do really well, and you know, I want them to grow in every aspect. You know, I still want them to be the same young women that we had in the fall that had as much excitement to do community service as they had to play. And if we keep that same attitude and they play at the talent level that I know each one of them can, I'm going to be really happy, and we're going to accomplish every single goal that I've set for them. You know, most importantly, in the classroom, we're doing all right there. On the field, we're doing all right there, and in the community and in life, we're doing really well there. So if we keep getting better, one step better in every day in each of those aspects, we'll crush every single goal I've set for this team.
Okay, just kind of looking at the strength of schedule, you have some D1 schools on there, you have Millsaps, which is a decent D3 program, William Carey. Just talk about, you know, as you were making the schedule, your thoughts in going and picking this, making sure we play these type of caliber of programs.
You know, we're opening up with Millsaps, and you know, they're a decent D3 program in our area, and my personal belief is that we're going to ease our way into things at practice. You know, I don't want to make an easy schedule. I really don't. I want to challenge these young ladies because, you know, life is a challenge, and, you know, the major softball, baseball cliche is let's throw a curveball. I mean, we hit some pretty good curveballs this fall. So, yeah, we're going to open up, and, you know, I'm not scared to play anybody. That's the respect I have for, you know, the 24 young women that's going to put on Owls gear this spring. We're going to play... I think this year we play a D3. We play a couple D3s. We played D2 programs. We're playing NAIA programs, and we're playing a D1 program. So I'm not scared to put them up against anybody. You know, if nothing else, we're going to get better. We're going to learn from our mistakes, and we're going to go, and we're going to win some ball games, and you know, we're going to lose some ball games, and we're supposed to. But you know, I'm a firm believer that you don't appreciate the great things in life without a little bit of loss, and you don't really appreciate your wins without a loss. So we're starting out right out of the gate. We're going to North Carolina, and we're playing some really, really good Division III programs in a really good, respected Division III tournament, and that's going to be tough. You play 6 games in 3 days. That's tough for anybody, especially a first-year program. But we're, you know, I believe that, you know, these women can do it, and they're not going to step down from the challenge, and I'm not going to step down from that challenge, and we're just going to play together as a family of 26, 24 players, 2 coaches, and we're going to get some W's, I hope. But like I said, there's some tough competition in there, but we're going to play up to that competition. I'm not really worried about it. They're excited, I'm excited, and I think it's a great thing to do for the school and the community as a whole.
Okay. And Bailee, just looking at the schedule itself for you, what are some things that you look at and say, okay, I need to be at this point by this time of the season, and the little milestone goals that you set for yourself?
Well, I really feel like, for myself or for the team?
For yourself and the team.
Okay, well, for myself, I want to be able to be really consistent, throughout the year. I want to improve, but I also want to be consistent where my teammates and my coach know exactly what I'm bringing every time I step onto the field. Just the energy level and the talent level and the skill set that I bring to the team every single time. But as a team, I'm really thinking that we're going to go in, and I really think that we're going to have a really good peak at the end. I really feel like we're going to peak at the end whenever the games matter the most, and then I think that might carry us into some postseason play. I don't know, but I really think that we're going to have a pretty good peak towards the end of the season. So that's kind of what I think.
And for you, Michael?
I just feel like I kind of have an upper hand being a senior, playing in both junior college and NAIA already. So when I look at the schedule, I feel like I'm going to bring the experience to our team. And I feel like I kind of have like that edge of I know what to expect from these programs, kind of. And being in the circle, that helps a lot, because that's like the key position, And I feel like our team, it's going to take a few, but I feel like she said, we're going to peak at the end of the season when it matters, and I feel like as a whole we're going to do really well.
Okay. And as a senior, I know you still have this whole long spring ahead of you of games and bonding. But after you leave here, what's your next step?
PT school.
Okay.
So I'm excited. Hope I can get in. Fingers crossed.
I'm sure you will. With you, Bailee, you have 2 solid years here. So this will be the first year. Where do you see the program going and growing?
I think that. So when we came into as a first year team, when we came in, we didn't really have like traditions. We didn't have things. We were the first to do really anything. And when the second year comes around, I think it's going to be really interesting to see the things that we keep and the things that we like put away. Whenever we have new players come in, I think it's going to be really cool to be able to be the team to say, this is how we do it here, because we started it like this. And I think that's going to be a really neat thing to experience through the second year. So.
And Coach, what are your here now goals and where you see it's growing and going with your steering the ship?
I think the most important thing in my eyes with starting the program was you had to have the right foundation. And I'm not talking about the coaching foundation or the school that I'm talking about. For me, that right foundation was that first team. They were going to be a very integral part of future recruiting. It was a little tougher first year. It was it's happening. Rumors had stirred, but now it's finally happening. There's a coach's face now to go with a program and a logo. And now that I've got some, really good local players, her being one of them, and then really good junior college talent from Mississippi, some good players from Alabama, and then the 5 of them from the East Coast have helped tremendously. They've talked. I've actually talked with a couple of players that she actually coached travel ball with. But that foundation of you got those kids to come, especially when we're looking at the East Coast players. You got her to come. She's playing there. Okay, well I know her and I know what her talent level is. So all right, it's pretty serious, and as well as some of the JUCOs. Now my phone's ringing off the hook. I think you commented today when you sat in my office. You're like, you got 6 missed calls and 5 voicemails already. So that foundation has helped. This first group, they don't know how important they are to the future of this program, because that stems all the way back to 15 years ago when we still had softball. Because some of those young ladies who played are sending some of their current players here. on visits. So the foundation is a big deal because they were a really good program when they existed, and I think we're going to pick up from where they left off is my hope to make those young women, make those ladies proud, and they're just as important as, and like Bailee said, they're setting the standards for this is what this team does. No, we don't put up with that. Yes, we're going to have fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to joke. But when it's time to get serious and get our hands dirty, we're going to do that. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to see a smile on everybody's faces. They're just a fun-loving bunch, and they can take care of business and have fun. And I think that's important that they see. And with that, I think literally the possibilities are endless. The sky's the limit at how far Owl softball will go, and I think that goes for the entire department. The sky's the limit for us, and we're just kind of starting to take flight. So
all eyes are definitely on you guys. I went back to my hometown from where my previous college that I worked at before, and the sports director for WLBT, which is a local station for Jackson, he said, make sure you let me know when softball starts because I'm going to be there, cameras rolling. So y'all have some eyes on you this year.
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all.
No pressure.
So what do you want the Owls fans, the Columbus community to know about softball, Owl softball as it stands now?
I think Owl softball as it stands now is about the 24 young ladies that, wear a number ranging from 1 to, I think, 33 is what Poe wanted. I want them to know them, and, that's one thing I stressed when each and every one of them sat in my office is that you're not just going to be a number. The number you're going to be known by here is your jersey number. They're going to know where you're from. Your professors are going to know your name. They're going to know your position. They're going to joke about you missed that lazy pop fly at practice the other day. We saw it. But I want them to know that we're really grateful to be in this community. And I think that's really important, and I want them to know that we're very thankful for their support, and most importantly, that we're going to do our best to make the city of Columbus proud, and that's in all aspects, the community, in the classroom, and as well as on the field. We're gonna do our best to be those positive role models for the young women that hopefully one day want to wear, Owls uniforms, and that they should come out and get to know the young ladies. We're always a smile and a wave. They're super friendly. So I think that's the most important thing, that these young women are very grateful to be in the position. They're all here for the love of the game. Is exactly what they're here for, and you can't ask for a better team than to have 24 that are here solely because they love the game. And I'm just a really lucky coach.
And you guys, what do you want, the Owls fans to know about you guys as you go into the spring?
I just want them to know that we're playing for them, Like, it's not just about us, it's about them too. We really, I know we're going to get that support, I'm from here, and I know a lot of local people are super excited about the program, but we're going to play hard for y'all.
Well, like she said, I came into the environment, or came into the community, and I've never seen such a excited place, for us to be. They're all so excited. I actually ran into your neighbor the other day, and she was wearing Owls. She had on like a nice Adidas dry-fitted Owls pullover, and I was like, wow, you're an Owls fan. She's like, yeah. I was like, I play softball. And she was like, Cara, and she was just, we're going to be at all the games. And I was like, wow, this is just, but yeah, like she said, we're out there, we're here for you guys, not only for us to have fun, but for them to have fun whenever they come out and watch us too, because it's fun when you have people cheering for you. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, anything to add, Coach?
No, it's just we'll be fun. Don't take too many pictures of me the first game. I'll be super nervous. It's like the first time my babies go out, and you know, I'll know that they're prepared, but I'll be super nervous because I know that they're going to be super nervous. But you know, I know better than they do that they're ready. But you know, even though if you know you're ready, you're still going to be. It's still the first. It's the first game at the first field. You know, at the new field. Everything's. You know, it's going to be the first time they play a game on turf.
It's a big deal.
So it's a pretty big deal to be the first. You know, we don't, like I said, we don't get to be the first of many things, and this generation, you know, usually it's the first game of the season. You got first game of the season, you know, nerves, but you know, it's the first everything.
Yeah.
So you know, we got big shoes to fill. It's volleyball won their first game at home. You know, no pressure on us. But you know, it's gonna be fun. It's going to be an energy that I think the town has longed for a while, and I hope that we can be a void. We can fill the void that they've had, and they can just see how hard these young ladies have played, and just like Cara said, how hard they play for them. You know, they're playing for a little bit more than themselves. They play for their town and their school and their coaches and their fans, and it's going to be exciting. I don't wish time to move faster, but I kind of do.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming to sit with me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And I wish y'all luck in the
Sure.
spring.
Thank you.